Yeah, Laurent.
Yo,
How you feeling, man?
feeling great, man. Feeling great. Feeling adventurous.
Mm.
Mm.
Another final, another loss. Is that what, seven in a row?
Yeah, I think it's that many. Yeah, seven Wembley finals, right? Yeah.
And seven L's to go along with
Listen, man.
it.
At the end of the day, you gotta ride out for your club, man. And yeah, man. Listen, I couldn't be more proud to support a club like Chelsea FC.
It's funny you say that because I have a question for you, and and the funny thing is, all these pods are recorded. You yourself said, and I quote, "If Chelsea play haram ball, I'll be the first one to call it out." Now, that lineup this weekend, what say you?
Well, with Kukurea as a left winger.
You guys had like eight defenders on.
Yeah. Um. I mean, I will say for one again, we can't even have this interim manager be representing.
Oh, here we go. CJC,
No,
the
no,
excuses are rolling in. Here we go.
let's be real, right? Let's be real, right? It's he's an interim manager, right? So there's also a certain lack of experience, um, right? Personnel was an issue, and yeah, he put the guy in there, Kukurea, which he didn't have too bad of a game, if I'm being completely honest. Some say he actually should have had a penalty shout. I don't know if you guys saw the highlights. Um, or, and I'll ask you guys what you guys think of that when we get there. But yeah, there should have been two penalty shouts apparently. Me personally, I don't care for him because I don't think we were the better team on the day. But it seems like a lot of people, like even Thierry Henry, is mentioning that Chelsea was robbed. So I'll let you guys discuss that. But all in all, man, listen, we'll be back. We have Jabi Alonso, right, in for next season. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that.
Some say CJ, some say Chelsea are the new Netflix FC.
Yo, I'm gonna do my best, and yeah, I know you're gonna tell me, no, no, fuck that. I'm gonna do my best this pod to keep it tamed, to be humble, not try and come for Laurent. Pause. Funny enough, me and Laurent, for the viewers watching, for those who are regular viewers of the show, welcome back, by the way, like and subscribe. Um, me and Laurent had a conversation offline, and I think he thought we were recording yesterday, and so he called me, yo, hey, can we record a little bit earlier? And I said, bro, we're not recording today. I thought we were recording like, tomorrow, like, when Murdoch comes back, all this and that. And he's like, I see how it is. You guys are just gonna gang up on me. I'm like, bro, like, listen, it is what it is. If that's how you feel, then let me just, tone it down because Murdoch can be the voice for two people.
Hell yeah!
So I I'll try and keep it humble so long as, you don't have any shots to fire at me because I'm not wearing my bulletproof vest today. I'm unarmed, I'm saying, truce.
Mm,
But anyhow, shots are fired.
mm.
I will have some ammunition. So
Nah, fuck that shit. We're going guns blazing, bro, below the belt. You guys spent 2 billion and you really think Javi Alonso is gonna fix everything?
I think he's gonna.
Bro,
I
the
think
only finals you guys were able to win was a preseason trophy after spending $2 billion.
yeah,
Nah,
versus
fuck that
versus the
shit,
versus the
CJ.
team you guys are playing.
Fuck that shit.
ah,
Listen, at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day,
When it mattered, you guys lost. When it didn't matter, you guys won. Period.
no, we definitely we lost. We lost. I can't say much. And I mean, for one, I even when we were doing the predictions, um, and I'm pretty sure you guys remember me saying this that I predicted this was on the last pod where it's like I predicted a Chelsea win. However, I have no high hopes for it. I'm just doing it out of honor because made it to the final, and I just gotta
You're an
support.
honorable man.
Thank you, and I'm emotionally touched, real. But yeah, no, listen. Chelsea is going nowhere. Where We'll be here, and will Xabi Alonso fix everything? No, but I think also, given the fact that he was given, I don't know if you guys heard, right? He's gonna be allowed to make some very key decisions.
Yeah, he's manager, not even head coach, apparently.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Pew, pew, pew.
So yeah, man, let's hope that the aging of man actually happens.
Is he
Because
gonna age Garnacho or is he gonna sell Garnacho?
oh man, yeah, that guy has to go, man. That guy has to go. I'm sorry, but yeah, that guy has to.
Real quick, keep, sell, or trade or swap. Garnacho, Delap, and Shield.
So,
No, will you keep, sell, or trade?
oh, like,
Yeah, you're
oh,
keeping one, you're selling one, and you're trading one. Garnacho, Delap, Shield.
yo, that is a tough one. Yo, okay, so the lap, that guy can't stay. That's and what's crazy to say because damn, you got Garnacho there, but yeah, the lap cannot stay. Um,
Oh,
doesn't
sorry, keep, sell, or loan. Sorry, keep, sell, or loan.
keep loan Badia Shield, sell the lap, keep Garnacho.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Wow,
surprised Garnacho was your keep. I swear you
I
hate that guy.
know.
Yeah, I do, but I don't think now that Cole is here, there's no sense to keep Badia Shield at all. Yeah, loan him. Maybe he gets better, right? And then in the event that you have a defensive injury, you can bring him back. The lap, I don't think cannot stay. Just no production at all. Um,
Apparently, he's gonna go to Newcastle. Apparently.
he can take his WWE ass over there because yeah, man. Listen, that guy again. You always want to give players the benefit of the doubt when they first come through your doors. You want to be welcoming, right? You want to make sure it's an atmosphere that you want to play in. But bro, man, like one game after the other, and you're not doing any other thing than you see what I'm saying, like pushing players behind the back, like it's like foolishness, foolishness.
This coming from someone who always said get your protein intake in.
Yeah, but now you're just overdoing it, man. Now that's too much protein, you know, as they say. Like,
Oh shit. Well, as CJ said, welcome back. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. CJ is pumping out content pretty much daily. The most recent one where I gave him shit for, he did a pod. I'm gonna go
Mhm.
on a tangent right now. See, and CJ knows what I'm about to say. He did a fucking pod without me about Arnie Slot. How dare you? When I saw that and I listened to the entire video because I wanted to see what you had to say, I was livid. I was livid that I did not get my cameo on talking shit about Arnie Slot. You are a fraud, Arnie Slot. I am I'm so mad at you, CJ. So mad because that would have been entertaining to hear me rant about Arnie Slot. Um, but yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, most importantly. Um, bring on new content. And hey, we got one more game. One more game to win our first Prem in over 20 years, and two games in total to make this a very historic season for us. Um, Starting off quick, Arsenal 1-0 to the Arsenal. Played Burnley at home, final home game. Um, I mean, we usually talk about key moments, talking points, and I think the one talking point for me is we got away with one. We got away with one. Kai Havertz should have been sent off. We've seen a tackle like that before, and it was late.
wait, when did
And
this happen? Before the goal or second half?
after the goal in the second half,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, when he went studs up. Um,
Bro, that wouldn't have changed any aspect of the game, in my opinion.
no, but it would have made it more nervy. And not having access to Kai Havertz in the final game against Crystal Palace,
Ah, yeah, there is that.
right? We got away with one straight up. Um, I think Christian Mosquera had a good cameo, getting ready for our game at right back against PSG. I think it's good for him to get minutes in his legs. You definitely, CJ, you definitely saw the difference between Pierre Nketiah and Ricardo Calafiori. Defensively more sound, and honestly, I actually think while Ricardo Calafiori is more of a wild card when he pushes forward, Nketiah is more consistent, right? I know we had that penalty shot for Nketiah. I think the foul on Victor Gyökeres was more a penalty than the one on Nketiah because the way that Nketiah was going, he was already losing his footing, whereas the one on Gyökeres, like that was just late. Like you hit the ball away and then you hit the player because you saw how close he was going to be. Both of them would have been soft. Um, like the one that I keep coming back to is that Kai Havertz. Like when it said VAR potential red card look, I was like, fuck, we're screwed. Um, and
Wait,
the
so wait,
la
VAR and
yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got away with one.
jeez.
Um,
Thought the narrative was always anti-Arsenal. What's going on?
we'll come to that. We'll come to that, and I'll tell you why the narrative is into anti-Arsenal after CJ gives us his breakdown. But the last thing that I want to say, CJ, before I hand it over to you, is Eze had a stinker
Yeah.
for me. He had a stinker, giving the ball away too many times. That play, I think it was in the first half. Remember when he gave it away and he put his hand up and he was hustling back? Can't be doing that, man. You got PSG coming up. If you want to be the starting right 10, you can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that. Um, yeah, those were the takeaways for me. The overarching, yes, 1-0 to the Arsenal, but I'll be honest, we got away with one. In my eyes, you may disagree, but to me, that was a red card.
Yeah. No, I have similar sentiments to be honest with you. Did you get to watch it, Laurent?
Well, the game I did
Yeah.
see it until I think around like second half. I was like, yo, this is done, bro. So I
Really? See, I'm surprised you say that because again, it's 1-0 and
nah, man, bro. That Burnley team was like ass, bro. Respectfully, like they were not willing to do anything. You see what I'm
but
saying?
that's why I'm frustrated though, because I think I mean you say they weren't willing to do anything. It's just a lack of quality, which is why I'm even more frustrated because they're the worst. They're let's face it, I think they're the worst team in the league. I think they're worse than Wolves. Like if Wolves had their manager who came in midway through the season, like from the beginning of the season, I think they would have probably ended up overtaking Burnley. I think Burnley just they're the worst team in the league quality wise. They had nothing to give, and that's not for want of like trying. I think, they would have wanted to try their best, but they're just simply not good enough, right? Like obviously you've seen guys like their striker Fleming, who was being a dickhead all game, just trying to put himself about, trying to be physical with our players, getting under our skin. That was their best approach play to the game is try to get under our skin and try and put late tackles in on our guys because they couldn't keep up with us quality wise, right? Um, and obviously you saw towards the end of the game, they were throwing guys forward. When it hit like 85th minute onwards, when they were because 1-0, you're always still in the game, and that's why you've been around long enough to know that this is football, right? So yes, they look like they don't have anything because they're just not a good team, but it's 1-0, and anything can happen in football, right? Like, Murdoch said too, all it takes is one as a switch off, you just give a back pass to their striker and he runs it on goal and takes that chance, or, I don't know, fumble in the box, it hits our guy's arm after a long throw, because that was part of their tactics as well, right? Late in the game when they got those late throw-ins, they treat it like corner kicks. So they dump those throw-ins into the box, and I don't know, all of a sudden, it hits one of our guys on the arm and it goes to VAR and it's a penalty all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So at 1-0, you're never, we know that. It's never safe. So whilst we're the better side, obviously we all know that like these things can happen in football. And that's what I think maybe Murder yourself from a PTSD standpoint, you're thinking, so long as this game is 1-0, like you just always feel like as an Arsenal fan, you just always feel like that moment is coming for the other team where it's like, no, not again. You know what I mean? After we've just dominated or after we've just fluffed our lines, like so you can never really be too certain until the fat lady sings, right? As they say, aka the final whistle blows. And that's where I was pissed off the whole game because I'm just thinking, if you'd asked any of us one game, for us to potentially win the league with what 2 games left in the season, and you want one game to make it as comfortable as possible for your nerves, you'd probably pick Burnley at home, right? The worst team in the league
Right?
at your own ground. And I'm sitting there thinking the whole game, like, this is only 1-0. We scored off a set piece typically. And like somehow, we're here talking, forget the goal difference thing. You know what I mean? Where everyone was talking about running up the goal difference before the game. I mean, obviously that didn't happen. You know what I mean? By the 85th minute, 80th minute, I'm saying I'll take a 1-0. Forget goal difference. I don't need 4 or 5-0. I just want 3 points, because that's how it was looking. And this game just really spoke to me in the sense that, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, on a normal day in September, October, in the middle of the season, and when the sun is shining at the Emirates, you're thinking this is a 3-4-0. But in the title race in late May, when your team hasn't won a league for 20 years, that's pretty much what this game was about for me. I'm just watching a team that looked like they wanted to make sure we got 3 points by hook or by crook and nothing else, and then we just leaned on our strengths, which was defending towards the end. We were solid when we brought on the likes of Miles Lewis Skelly, Hincapié for Calafiori, and just shored up our team defensively, because Eze was having a stinker, as you said, Murdad. And yeah, I mean, now you're just going to look back on it and say the rest is history. No one's going to look back on that game and watch the replays anytime soon, because it was a shit snore fest of a game, in the sense that, we didn't do as much as I thought we would have, in terms of goal amount chances. But yeah, man, just 3 points, I guess, at this point is all that matters, right? To be honest with you. So a stinky 1-0 at home to Burnley, even if it is Burnley, it's like you'll take that. But the way we started the game, I was encouraged by the lineup, right? He was obviously trying to go for it, it seemed, because he went with just the one holder in Declan Rice, and then you play Eze and Odegaard together. Um, and Eze, I think, was okay in the first half. He faded away, obviously, in the second half, but I think he started bright. He had a good bits of combination play with Odegaard. I think he had a couple snapshots as well, so he did start a bit bright. I think Trossard was probably our brightest attacking player. He was kind of playing he looks like he's been playing with a bit of form again lately, which is good to see. He hit the post in the first half. Um, so yeah, I think the way we started, it was looking like it was a team that was intending on getting a few goals, but in the end, obviously, it didn't pan out that way, right? And it was a big call. We always have to talk about this, but it was a big call for him to drop Gyökeres and start Havertz, because when you put out an attacking team, right? When you play Eze and Odegaard together in midfield, and you play an attacking team, an attacking lineup like that, right? Calafiori at left back, your intention is to get goals, yet you leave your main goal scorer on the bench in Gyökeres, right? So it was kind of weird. But afterwards, when you dissect it, you understand why he did it. You think that Burnley's going to probably sit in a low block, so you put Kai Havertz up top to try and have a little bit more movement, somebody who is a little bit more creative with his space and better with the link up play to try and drag players out of position. So I believe that's why he went for Kai Havertz. And look, at the end, it paid dividends, because he did get the winner. So you have to give the manager credit for that. But yeah, man, 1-0 to the Arsenal, and you move on. But it's just I'm pissed off because it's not good for my nerves, and I have to really sit through one more game of this before the end of the season. Unless the elephant in the room is that the title race could end by tomorrow night, which I'm sure we'll talk about. Murad is smiling, but yeah, I would much rather the title race end tomorrow, as opposed to this going to the final day, because yeah, the amount of laundry I'm doing with sweating in all these shirts that I'm wearing, watching these games, bro, fuck, I can't, my nerves can't handle this shit, man.
So you went through like OxyClean, like on crack.
Bro, OxyClean, flipping tied to goals, all that stuff, man. OxyClean to the max. Like, chill. Crazy, man.
Lauren, I just want to come back quickly to your comment about, oh, the agenda isn't about Arsenal.
Mhm.
Last game of the season, and I know we're going to talk about it on the Thursday pod, but I just want to, because you brought that up, I just want to make a comment on it. So our last game of the season, we're facing Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace 3 days later have their Conference League final. City play Aston Villa. Aston Villa also have a Europa League final. Now, if you go and listen to the press conferences for Oliver Glasner versus Unai Emery, Oliver Glasner is asked literally every second question. Are
Mhm.
you going to rotate your players against Arsenal? Are you going to rotate your players against Arsenal?
Mhm.
They're safe in the league. Whether they beat us, they don't beat us, they draw against us, they're safe. The league position matters zero for them.
Mhm.
Unai Emery, their league position actually can matter for them. But also, they are going for a Europa League final. If they win, they automatically qualify for Champions League. Ask me how many times he's been asked if he's going to rotate his team against City.
Wait, against
City.
but what, like for this season or
Yeah, the
last
final
season?
game of the season. They're facing City. Ask me how many times Unai
Oh,
Emery has been asked about rotating his squad against Man City for the final game of the season.
probably not.
None.
Mm.
None. So when you talk about agenda, if you're gonna ask one manager, why don't you ask the other manager? And the funny thing is, Oliver Glasner did rotate against Man City, and the reason why I think he rotated against Man City is because he wants to nip the narrative in the bud to say, oh, he played a strong team against City, and he's not going to play a strong team against Arsenal, so he's favoring Arsenal. He already rotated. Like the
Wait,
final game of the season means nothing for him because
mhm,
he has one more game after that to prove that he is like the Palace manager, the Palace managing team, the board of directors. They messed up with Glasner. He's gonna win them a conference league, get them into Europa League, and he's gonna fuck off. And he's gonna be like, "Look, I won everything. You took away Eze from me. You took away Olise, and you took away Gahey, and I still won a trophy again."
mhm.
Right? So when we're talking about narratives, the narrative is there.
Wait, and okay, did Oliver Glasner answer the question?
He has. I haven't really looked at it, but like,
The latest press conference, he mentioned that, oh, we haven't had much break. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said that we haven't had much break midweek, right? Because last week when they played City was a midweek game. So he's like, we haven't had much full week rest or much breaks in between. So, he had to basically say he's had to rotate midweek last week because, there wasn't too much turnaround time between the last game on that weekend and then the midweek game against City. So he basically ended up saying now that we have a full week's rest, aka the time period now until next weekend, the last game of the season. He's saying we have a full week's rest now, so he's like, I'm likely going to play a stronger squad. But then he also admitted that he may take players off early to give them extra rest and so on and so forth. But all that to say, he did say now that we have a full week's rest, he's like it's more likely that he will go with a stronger squad now, right? So um, yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? But look, I get what you're saying, though, Merdad. Like the point is that Unai Emery's not really being asked this. Um, but
just
obviously
like it's
Glasner
just
is.
shady, man. It's just like pathetic. Like you guys are trying like it's almost like the media is trying to put this narrative to be like, oh, see, Arsenal had to win the league against a rotated uh Crystal Palace side. It's and then the narrative coming up be like, oh, Arsenal got away with one. Yeah, I'm the one who said it. Yeah, we got away with one. But so did City with Bernardo Silva. How many times? That game against Brentford, he should have been that should have been a penalty. It was Bernardo Silva and Nathan Collins. How many times
They
have they gone away with that?
I think they came out the next day, was it the PGMOL, and
Yeah.
admitted that they got that wrong. It should have been a penalty.
Like, come on now. Come on. It's bullshit. It's pathetic. It's literally pathetic. And you know what? I hope for every single hater, the title race ends tomorrow, and you're gonna see it's gonna be fucking crickets. It's gonna be crickets on social media. And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, well, Arsenal had to do it in a weak league, blah 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 blah." This isn't a weak league. Look at the standings. This is not a weak league. When you have a team that spent and Laurent, I'm sorry for saying this, but when you have a team that spent $2 billion that's struggling to make a Champions League spot, you got Newcastle that's owned by a state. They're struggling. Everton, with all the money that they invested, they're struggling. Like, look how tight it is from fifth all the way down to 13th. Straight up, look how tight it is. Like it's this is not an easy league. Leeds have taken 6 points off Chelsea. Like, you know? So,
One thing I will
anyways,
say,
oh sorry.
I'm glad that you called out too is because you have to be honest as well, right? We're gonna be honest and call a spade a spade. We're not as biased as people out there would like to think as Arsenal fans. And so I'm glad that you mentioned today's game in the Kai Havertz situation and said that was a red card because I agree. Um, it probably should have been a red if you really look at it. Honestly, I can, like, it's somewhere in that orangey area, you know what I mean, between yellow and red, because yes, it was high on his Achilles, so he didn't go in with the full force. But when you slow it down, I think it's one of those where it looks a lot worse slowed down. Um, and I actually think if it's red on the field and the ref calls it a red, I don't think you can have any complaints about it. But
No.
he didn't call it on the field, and it's also one of those ones where you can say as an Arsenal fan, yeah, we got away with one. But as an opposing team or player or coach, you'd probably be thinking, that's bullshit. He probably should have been sent off. So I think Kai Havertz was really lucky in that situation. And yeah, if it was called on field as a red, I don't think us as Arsenal fans could have any complaints about it.
No.
We were very fortunate.
There's a
Um,
boneheaded tackle. Like,
yeah, stupid.
where is he going? He's going nowhere. Why? Because Saka didn't get a foul called, and then you're gonna make a boneheaded tackle? Like, come on. There's no place for that. There's no place for that at all. He
Yeah.
just put he just with one tackle just cemented Gyökeres's place in the final game of the season against PSG. That
You
one
think so?
tackle,
You
100%.
think he's gonna start Gyökeres now?
Yeah, 100%. You can't risk something that idiotic.
Hmm.
Wait, how bad was this? Like, was it that bad?
He was late, man. Yeah, he was late.
Nothing, but bro, you're making it seem like he committed like a crime, and now he's not gonna play. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Well, the fa
Yeah, I don't
how,
think Arteta's gonna bench him personally, but
we're talking about small margins, right? When you're playing against Burnley and you're making a boneheaded play like that, and then you go and play against PSG, there's gonna be you know there's gonna be moments in the game that you're gonna struggle, and you can't have any risks like that, right?
wait, but
That's my opinion.
from an
Maybe
offensive standpoint, sorry to cut you off. From an offensive standpoint, who do you want to start? Not from like that disciplinary standpoint. Like, who do you think is gonna be most effective for you, Havertz or Gyökeres in the final?
personally, I would want Gyökeres. I'd want a bruiser.
Pause. But CJ,
this may sound strange coming from me too, but I think it's a case of horses for courses. And I think in the Champions League final, I think I would start with Havertz. I may change my mind. We're gonna do a breakdown closer to, right, as the game comes. Um, but at this moment in time, I actually think I would start with a Havertz.
The same man who said we wasted money on Havertz is now saying one of our most important games in Arsenal's history to start Kai Havertz. Oh, how the tables have turned.
It's crazy. No, honestly, and you know what it is? I'll explain why. Like games like today is where you think Yonkers would start. You know, like games where you were going to play a team who's going to sit in, going to be a low block, and you need just a fox in the box, like a poacher to just be on the end of things. That's where you start a Gyökeres. But in those type of games where we're playing a PSG, right? We saw it in the Carabao Cup final against Man City when Gyökeres did
Mm.
start up top that day. Where let's be honest, Gyökeres' hold up play is not the greatest, right?
No.
He's it's getting better. He's improved. But it isn't the greatest, and we saw in the Carabao Cup final when we release the ball or we clear our lines, and after being under so much pressure, right? We'll clear the ball, but then it seems like it's just going to come straight back at us because it breaks down with Gyökeres sometimes. You know what I mean? Like he'll get it, he'll hold it up, but then he'll misplace his pass, or sometimes his touch is too loose, and then they capitalize on it, especially a team like PSG who's just going to swarm you as soon as you get the ball. So
mm,
you know what I mean? Where Kai Havertz is actually really good at relieving pressure and holding up the ball for us when we clear our lines. Because let's be honest, guys, like, and this is why I said it's a horses for courses. Against PSG, we may not have most of the ball. There's going to be large spells in that final where they're going to be all over us, swarm us, not going to let us out of our own 18-yard box. And if we get a chance to clear our lines with a Kai Havertz up top, he may relieve some pressure for us and give us some time to get up the pitch because he can hold it up a little bit. You see what I'm saying? And even bring others into play. Gyökeres isn't quite good at that, right? You can see, and again, I don't mean to bash him, but I'm just being honest. You can see scenarios where the ball gets lumped out of our box. We clear our lines to relieve some pressure. It goes up to Gyökeres, and then he either falls over or he bounces off of him, and it just comes straight back at us because again his hold up play isn't the best, and he's not the cleanest with his touches or he's not the cleanest with his link up playing connections. You know what I mean? And like I said, we saw some of that in the Carabao Cup final. It's an issue though because again you combine Havertz's hold up play and link up play and movement with Gyökeres' finishing. But these are world class strikers who are one of one, right? The Thierry Henrys of the world. If you combine both those players, you have a world class striker. But my problem with Havertz, right, and this is where you would need a Gyökeres, is again similarly in the Etihad game in the Premier League a couple weeks ago when we lost 2-1, you saw Havertz miss big chances in that game, right? The header in the 90th minute,
Oh,
the one-on-one. So it's like Havertz sometimes does all the right things until he gets into the final third. You know what I mean? Like when he gets in the final third, sometimes you don't know what he's gonna do. He could score, he could miss big chances. But for the Champions League final, if he were to start, let's hope he channels in his inner Chelsea and scores in the final.
yeah. Laurent,
Yeah, you like
as
that, eh,
a
Laurent? I had to get that in there for the Chelsea guys. You know,
yeah.
he's the reason why you guys have your second Champions League. So don't hate on him too much.
Uh,
Lauren, as an outsider, who would you pick
from a hate watch standpoint or from a neutral standpoint?
from
Because
a neutral standpoint and from a hate watch standpoint?
mm, okay, okay.
It's an
So from
easy, it's an easy answer then.
yeah, so if I'm a neutral, I would I'd say I'd say Havertz, but at the same time, honestly, I think because Jakers has been having some good performances, even his performance against Atleti, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was really good. Yeah.
And it's funny because you mentioned the hold-up play, but with Atleti, his hold-up play was pretty stellar,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
He was very physical, and he made it very hard for those Atleti defenders, right? Which for me, I think even against like the Marquinhos and the Patcher, right? I feel on some level it could be a physical battle, right? With those guys. So, um, but I would give the edge towards Havertz. And yeah, from a hate watch, straight up Yakrez. Because headless chicken, on his off days, which seems to be quite rare now, but
Headless chicken.
100%, a
Are we
hundred.
sure you're not mistaking Yalkraz with Delap?
Oh, see, bro, like the lap is a chicken, even like that's a different breed of chicken with a lap, bro. But yeah, no, Yakuras slightly better than the lap by fine margins, as they say. But yeah, no, listen, I feel like if those defenders for PSG are on point, that game becomes very hard for Yakuras, right? If they get their positioning right,
Yeah,
the way they press,
I agree.
yeah, because as well, I think the midfield is also going to prevent those layout passes that Yakuras could even have as options, right? So now you're forcing the guy to hold on to the ball, and he's not the best at that, right? So he can be easily caught out of positions numerous times. Yeah, yeah. But
Well,
we'll get there when we get there.
yeah, we got one or two more pause before that one, and we'll do a full breakdown. Quickly shifting gears, Chelsea lost 1-0 to Man City for the FA Cup final. Another FA Cup loss for Chelsea. That's, I believe, seven finals at Wembley that Chelsea have lost. And Lauren, before I pass it over to you for an actual breakdown of what you saw, yes, in fact, Chelsea were robbed. That was a foul. Because if it was the other way around and you guys were up 1-0 and it was the other way and it was Bernardo Silva on the end of that, it would have been called a penalty. So yes. And this is the inconsistency of VAR that I'm talking about. It shouldn't matter the color of the jersey of the team that they're playing.
Hmm.
This is what Gary O'Neill was talking about. I believe it was was it last year or 2 years ago where Gary O'Neill essentially came out and said, if we weren't Wolves facing Man City, we would have gotten that call. That's the inconsistency, and that's why I hate VAR. Because if there was no VAR and that happened, we could all just be like, you know what, the ref sucked, move on. The fact that VAR is there and they still miss that call, that's what pisses me off.
Right, right. Okay. Wait,
So
now, okay, because for some there were two calls, potential calls. Which one are you referring to?
the one that I believe it was it Kusanov?
On
João Pedro.
Sorry,
okay,
yeah, sorry, Kusanov on João Pedro, and then the other one where Cucurella was going off up the left wing.
okay, so there's that one, and then there's the one on Hato. I think that was pretty soft. But you guys remember that one? Or in
Second,
Hato?
that was the second half, right? I think it
Yeah,
was the second half. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
yeah.
Pedro one for sure. The
Mm,
Cucurella one, the Hato, but the Pedro and Cucurella one, those were like
right,
blatant.
right, right. But it was surprising because again, right, it goes to VAR, and yeah, I thought we were gonna get it, but we did not. Um, but even besides that, bro, to me the performance was just. She was saying it wasn't up to par to the point where I can't even ask for these calls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, come on. You guys gotta give a bit more.
But hold on. Let me challenge that thought process for a second.
Mm,
If you guys are up 1-0, because both teams played like shit,
mm.
from every analysis, because I didn't get to watch the entire game, I did watch the highlights, and from all the analysis that I saw, it was apparently a snooze fest.
Yep,
If
yep.
you guys were up 1-0
Mm.
against Man City get those calls.
Mm,
and they didn't deserve it, right? Both teams play like shit. So why is it that Man City would get that call, but Chelsea doesn't? I promise you, if Arsenal was in that position, we wouldn't have gotten that call
mm.
against Man City. That's the discrepancy, and that's why people hate VAR. It should not matter the color of the jersey that you're playing, right?
Right, right.
You guys have heard about like double blind studies?
Yep.
Like it should be double blind. Should say this is what happened. What is the call by the letter of the law? Now, how you get to do something like that to improve VAR, I have no idea. That's why I'm sitting here. But if you want to improve it, it should be double blind.
Mm,
Or at least the people in the VAR room should not know what the players are, like what two teams are playing. How that works, I have no idea. It's probably impossible, right?
right,
But
right.
there's so much subjectivity when it comes to the teams, right? Like I know last pod we were talking about CJ and I were telling you about Fergie time, right? Subjective. Like even today, like CJ, when it went to like 8.5 minutes of extra time, I was like, what are we doing here? It's like
Mm.
we're at home. You know, is it Burnley time? Is it Kyle Walker time? Like, why are they getting an extra minute and a half?
Yeah, you know what's funny though? Like, because I told you guys I shut that game down when I saw that nothing was gonna come of it. But then I was on my phone on Google, right? And Arsenal versus Burnley. And you guys check the scores on Google, right? When a game is live. So now I see like 90, we're at the 98th minute, and it goes like +8 or something, right? And now like all I catch myself doing is just I'm just refreshing. And I'm checking the stats just to see like, yo, is Burnley actually doing something? And then yeah, to your point, I see that it went like slightly over, right? And bro, I was so close to actually like putting that game back on just to see if I was gonna get some sort of a miracle or something, but
A
didn't.
miracle.
Yeah, man.
CJ.
Guy is begging, bro.
CJ. You're gonna allow this?
Bro, why don't you just watch the game at that point? Like now I know what your real agenda was, huh? Because I'm thinking you said it's a 90th minute, you're just refreshing. You're hoping for the best instead of just watching the game with your own eyes.
Yeah, no, because bro, like I told you, like from what I see from Burnley, bro, those guys were not serious. So it's like if I put it on, I'm just gonna get annoyed at this point. 'Cause yeah,
No,
so
I rate the honesty, honestly.
yeah, of
I
course.
rate that.
Listen, I speak from the heart, man. You already know what it is, and yeah, man. If I do decide to not be a hater, I'll let you guys know. And yeah,
You've
man.
already decided that you're not a hater unconsciously.
What do you mean?
You're wearing Arsenal maroon.
Oh my gosh, bro.
See, your subconscious is already telling you.
That's crazy, bro. Like I could have like if I was wearing blue, you would have said something about like their
Nah.
kit. Man, get out of
Nah.
here.
Um, sticking on Chelsea, the merry-go-round that is the managerial position. We did touch on it. Jabi Alonso has officially signed.
Hey, fucking
Jabi,
go. That discipline, that
um,
structure.
discipline structure. Apparently, he's gonna have a lot of say on incomings, outgoings. Laurent, I'm assuming you're happy.
Of course, man. Like I'm fucking excited. We've seen what he has done, in the Bundesliga. We saw what his potential could have been, even in La Liga, if it wasn't, for the egos of some players. And apparently Mbappe is actually saying now that he actually preferred when Xavi was in control. I don't know if you guys read about that because there's structure and whatnot. But yeah, no,
So hold on, are you implying that Mbappe is going to Chelsea now?
no, no. Listen, bro, like we'd love to have a guy like that. Can you imagine? But no, he's not. He's not coming. He's not coming.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know like what his philosophy is going to be, right? Even if he wants to. I know Nicholas Jackson is coming back.
Nicholas
Yeah, yeah.
Jackson.
It'd be interesting because now that you have a new manager, right? Who knows? He could bring out, right? The quality that Jackson has shown in his.
He's better than Delap, huh? I'll say that.
Oh, that bro, what? Like 1,000%, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. No, the lap is just a brute, bro. Yeah, just a complete brute. So, but yeah, no man, Chelsea, we're here next year. Look out for us. Next year FC, sure, but that season's coming to an end real quick. So,
So let me ask you both, and CJ, I'll start with you. There's unofficial reports that this is Pep Guardiola's last season. Enzo Maresca is likely going to be taking over at the helm for Man City. Um, Looking at the way that the Premier League's shaping up next season, obviously it looks like so far Michael Carrick will be taking over the United role. Um, Chelsea's been established. Liverpool, Fraud is going to be there for another half season. See, bro, I'm still annoyed at with you. But anyways, I digress. Who is the best manager in the Premier League now that Pep Guardiola is leaving?
you know, that is crazy, bro. Like, why you gotta do that?
It's set up for the one answer, eh?
You what? Like that's such a. Right, you said I'm begging for like miracles, bro. You're begging for
How
whatever.
am I begging? I'm asking you a question.
Bro, just stop, man. Just stop.
that one seemed very intentional.
I listen, bro. I'm just asking a question. Nothing is begging. Nothing is directed. Nothing is, who is the best manager in the league now that Pep Guardiola is leaving?
Wait, hold on. You actually okay. I will say this. I think you know that head-to-head record that you
Hold on, before
guys.
you complete your sentence, Laurent.
Mm,
I think you'd actually be shocked at my answer. So that's why I'm very shocked at what you're implying that I'm implying.
yeah, you're saying Arteta.
Hell no.
Really?
Hell no. Exactly.
Wait, so who the?
I mean, I posed the question to CJ first, then it comes to you, then it comes to
Okay,
me. We
okay.
got to stick
All
to the
right,
script. We
all right,
have to
all right.
stick to the script.
So he's not saying Arteta.
Well, I hope not. In terms of consistency, this is a man who set Arteta out not too long ago. But well, Laurent, were you gonna? Did you have? You were gonna finish your sentence,
No,
or
so I
you
think
just
now
want
I have to like actually know what his answer is.
to?
Right, yeah.
I'll wait till you guys answer, and then I'll give
But
you my answer.
so for me, it's tough to say. There's no clear answer now. Like once Pep leaves, there's no clear answer because, and it's funny, bro. That's how you know we're all getting old, because now what we're seeing in the game is managers that we used to grow up watching play. You know what I mean? Xabi Alonso, Frank Lampard, Gerrard, Arteta, Fabregas, all these guys that we grew up watching are now all managers. And
Mhm.
Pep was truly, whilst I don't have an answer of who the next best manager is, because that's yet to be determined, because the managers that are now managing these top six clubs, your Carrick, forgot about him, Carrick, Xabi Alonso now at Chelsea, Arteta at Arsenal, obviously Arne Slot at Liverpool, um, and then Maresca's coming into City. Like these are all guys who, don't have anything on their CVs, bar Arne Slot, funny enough. Um, so like they all have young, a lot of them are young and up and coming managers. They have a lot to prove. Pep Guardiola was truly the last world-class manager in this league. It's crazy to think once upon a time you had Pep, Jose, Conte, Arsene Wenger all in this league at the same time, right? These type of managers who are
Klopp.
established. Klopp, how did I forget about him? All been around the game for the longest time. They were all competing in our league at one period of time at the same time. And now
Ancelotti was there too at
and now,
Everton.
and now we're transitioning away from already established world-class CV winning managers to now in the game, it's all up and coming bright young managers. So first of all, I feel old. I don't know about you guys, but I just feel old. And secondly, it's like, yeah, now all these managers are coming in and they're gonna have points to prove. Young, fresh managers with fresh ideas. We're gonna see Xabi Alonso versus Arteta. Um, it's so I don't think there's one clear favorite. But what I will say, and maybe your answer, actually, no, I don't think you might say this, but I'm thinking that on paper, here's what I'll say. On paper, it's looking like Unai Emery is probably the best manager now that's of all these guys that are left, especially if you're looking at strictly CV. A manager who does it with little budget, right? He doesn't have like the Pep Guardiola budgets that Pep's had everywhere he's been. Um, but a guy who again is in another European final with Aston Villa, competing with, the traditional big six in the Premier League on a lesser budget. A team like Aston Villa who's been in FFP rules and troubles in the last couple seasons, so they haven't been able to spend what the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, City are spending, and he's still competing with them. And a lot of people were saying this. I was hearing on a lot of other channels and podcasts. If Spurs were to go down, who replaces Spurs in the big six, quote unquote? And a lot of people were saying Villa. And again, they're not even spending what Newcastle spends or is allowed to spend. You know what I mean? So credit to Unai who's come into that club and made them compete at the top of the last couple seasons. Compete in the Champions League and so on and so forth. On paper, his CV is the best out of all these guys that are left. So you probably have to look to him maybe and say, especially to see if he gets over the line this weekend. But I think Murdad, long-winded answer, but I think to properly answer your question, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens at the end of the season to properly answer that, right? If
Okay.
Arteta gets over the line, he's obviously gonna have a strong case now to say, okay, well, look, I'm a Premier League winning manager. I've built this project, etc. Um, so yeah, I think that answer is kind of to be determined, but
Okay.
yeah.
Laurent?
Mm. So I agree that Unai would be the best candidate, for sure, given all the reasons that CG pointed out. Now, in terms of who follows suit after that, um, yeah, I think Arteta has a case for it. Well, again, we still have one game to go, but right, very very strong case for that. Um, but I will say that I think my manager also has a pretty good case for right because listen, if we're talking about CVs, he's won a Bundesliga title, right? For those who forget, and in order to win a Bundesliga title in Germany, you have to beat the Bundesliga holders in Bayern Munich, right? And they did it in an unbeaten with an unbeaten record. Um, for those right who don't know, so yeah, I think Xabi Alonso is a strong candidate. Um, and you also have to factor in, right, that Madrid wanted him, and they wanted him for a reason.
But
Um,
now you'd have to say, sorry to cut you off. Now you'd have to say that he's failed at Real Madrid. So the narrative might now be, can he do it at a big club?
but even that, come on, man. I think even at Madrid, he had like 24 wins, four losses, six draws, which isn't bad.
Not good enough for Madrid.
I mean, again, that's fair, but I don't think that's bro. If you look at just even the fact that that's his second club, technically, right? That's not a bad record by. And on top of that, you like seems like dealing with that whole situation with those kind of players. It's like if anything, the players let him down. In my opinion, and a lot of Madristas are apparently right seeing that they should have probably kept him right. But yeah, no, I think even in him, he'll definitely have to prove himself. But I'm saying don't bat an eye if he delivers some solid performances. And to go back to my previous point that I was going to make, that head-to-head record that these Arsenal fans like to point out as of recent history, I wouldn't be surprised if you know that changes next season.
Interesting.
All right, so your answer, bro.
So we're gonna talk about City Bournemouth. No, I'm joking.
Wow. Yeah, it's like there's no way, bro. There's no way
Um,
goes through that just to not answer the question himself. But,
when you look at it, now that Chelsea brought in Xabi Alonso and it looks like United are keeping Carrick, um, and they're not gonna bring in someone like Luis Enrique, the only person who's shown consistency in the entire Premier League and with their CV is Unai Emery. I've been the first person that have said the reason why I don't rate Arne Slot is because you can't just be a manager that is one and done, right? Claudio Ranieri was one and done. The next season they got relegated, and now they're in the third division. You cannot be one and done. Yes, if Arteta wins the Premier League and Champions League, that he will go down like he will be the most successful Arsenal manager, period. However, you want to cement yourself as the great ones and you want to be known as the great ones, you have to repeat that performance year in and year out. Yes, some may say for the past 6 years. He's built that for the past 3 years. We've been there and thereabouts, and so he's been able to repeat that. But again, what's the substance? What are we getting over the line? And Unai Emery, like CJ said, he's done it without a budget in Spain. He pretty much did it in Arsenal too. He got us to a final with like Shokran Mustafi and Socrates. Like, come on now, these names like they were they're good when you're sitting in Mykonos, not on a football pitch. Like, Socrates sounds like a fucking meal, some eggplants with some, garlic naan, and you just, not a
Well,
defender.
listen, I don't know where you get your food at, but
I'm hungry, bro. It's, like it's that time. It's the witching hour for me. But yeah, Unai Emery is definitely the best, in my opinion, a best of the rest. I do think Arteta does have a claim at the second, but I think at this moment in time, if we go with saying that, Maresca's coming in and Slot is there, I don't think you guys will agree with me on this, but I think for longevity wise and some of the things that he's been able to do, for me, David Moyes, I'd put ahead of Arteta. Just some of the stuff that he's been able to do with smaller clubs and the fact that he took West Ham to a conference league like victory. Like that's no like you have to give respect to that, right? If Ange Postecoglou was still in the league, as much as I hate Spurs, I would put Ange Postecoglou second because again, he's won where he's gone. And he
Interesting.
did he did say like my second season I win. You have to give respect to managers when they say, "Hey, I'm going to do it." Right? I'm saying it objectively. I'm not saying it from the heart. I'm saying it objectively, right? Yes, David Moyes had a horrendous season at Manchester United after he took over for Sir Alex Ferguson. But like he, I promise you, if there was someone in between him and it was David Moyes after that someone, he would have done amazing. It's the same thing with Unai Emery. If someone was before Unai Emery and Unai Emery was the guy after, Emery would have won us the title. I promise you that. I promise you that. So
I think it's going to be interesting to see. You know who's one to watch in terms of managers next season is going to be Arne Slot, I think. And I think I may just be saying this talking to Laurent right now, so remember that close your ears because I know your opinion of Arne Slot's already made up. But like no, genuinely, that's one to watch, I think, because again, you mentioned you have to repeat and you have to go on and do it again to cement your legacy as a good manager and so on and so forth. However, we are talking about guys like, Ange Postecoglou, who, yeah, he won it with Spurs, second season, right? So he needed an extra season to win something at least. And these other managers that, we've mentioned, Claudio Ranieri's and those guys. But Arne Slot, so he's now 1-1, right? So we said, he came in his first season, he won the league in his first season. This season was a poor one. So it's like, how do you bounce back? I think he now, and that's probably why he's still the manager at Liverpool, and they're going to give him the grace to what we know so far to go into next season as a manager because it's like, okay, you had one success. You came in right away, won the league, only one of two managers to win Liverpool Premier League in your first season, and then yeah, this one obviously was underwhelming for many reasons. So it's like, okay, what are you gonna do next year? You know what I mean? Like now you get that grace. Now next year's the odd one out. So one good season, one poor season. What do you do next year to determine, I think, where you should truly make your decision on him and like see where you stand on him, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And I think if things go poorly for him, like to start the campaign, right, he could be sacked within the first few months to be honest with you, if things go really poorly, right? But yeah, I think, once he gets another transfer window under his belt, it's going to see the kind of players that he brings in or what he wants to shape his ideas. And once he goes again, we'll see what he's really all about, I think, going into next season. I don't know if you agree with that, Laurent, or if I'm just talking out of my ass, but
yeah, no, I agree. And I think Salah is done, right?
yeah, yeah, he's done. They obviously those two don't get along, eh? If you
Yeah.
guys saw what he was saying.
Oh yeah, I think he gave like a indirect clapback at Salah, right? Um, yeah, yeah. But yeah. So I think even with from that message, I think it was that he delivered that to the press. But even from how he phrased it, it seems like right he has big hopes for the next season, right? With ah. Well, hey man, listen, I'm glad we still have the opportunity to even have him as a talking point on our episodes. Because yeah, man, the moment he gets sacked, we probably talk about him one, two episode, and then he fades into the abyss, right? So yeah, man,
Just like Ten Hag.
yeah, yeah, just
Cristiano Ronaldo was vilified as the problem.
mm,
It came out that the true problem was Ten Hag. Mohamed Salah has been vilified as the problem. Soon, the true problem is going to come out that it's Arne Slot. No
damn.
matter whether a club legend speaks out or not, you do not disrespect a club legend. Mohamed Salah is the only reason that Liverpool won the Prem last year is because of Salah. He had a historic season. You take all those goals away, they're not winning the Prem last year.
Bro, I feel like you don't rock with the saying no one's bigger than the club, eh? Like,
I do rock with that, but there's also a certain level of respect that you have to give the players that have been there who through thick and thin and that have scored important goals.
mm,
Yes, there's something saying no one's bigger than the club, but also there's a certain level of respect. And if you are a representation of the club, how do you think that message is going to be to all the kids that are coming through that want to be a Liverpool legend to say, hey, if you make a mistake and you speak up because you're the player, the club's going to bash you? Come on now. The only reason why Liverpool won the Prem last year is because of Mo Salah, not because of Arne Slot. You saw Arne Slot got his fingerprints on the squad and he made it worse. And next season, when he goes to another transfer window, he's going to make it even worse. And I promise you, if Luis Enrique is available by October or November, Arne Slot is gone. Mark my words.
all right, let's clip that.
Clip that, bro. You can go back a few pods and clip the part that I said Liam Rossini won't make it to the end of the season.
Mm. Yeah, I think you guys both yeah, you guys both mentioned that. But why are we talking about that guy anyway? He's like, you know what I mean? That's like oh so
Oh,
last
sorry,
year.
sorry, Rossinior. Rossinior.
No, no, it's Rossini, bro. It's
Ah, there,
let, no, no,
I.
let's keep it moving, man.
Uh,
Uh,
uh, lastly, just briefly, just checking on. Obviously, City play Bournemouth tomorrow. Any result aside from a win, Arsenal win the Prem. It's over. Game set match. Um, CJ, I know I predicted this is the banana peel. Bournemouth are a team that have not lost since playing Arsenal at the Vitality in January. This is it. This is the game. This is the game where we see rat number two, Bernardo Silva, cry.
I hope so, man. It seemed very intentional too that I don't know if you guys clocked this or how deep you guys looked into this. Pause, but very intentional that the news of Pep leaving was leaked today.
Yep.
Um, in the middle of our game and ahead of their game tomorrow. To really rile up the troops and the big last hurrah for Pep and yeah, let's do it for Pep and let's send him out with the Premier League title, you know. Couldn't have told us this earlier in the season or it couldn't have been official like at the beginning of the season or but now, right when things are in the thick of the title race, when they're almost desperate at this point, because they know now 3 points tomorrow is a must. Anything less, that's it in the title
Over.
race. So any extra little bit of it, bro, they're smart, man. City's smart, Pep is smart. They know what they're doing. Any little bit of psychological edge or boost they can give, they will do. So it's very, I believe, no one can tell me otherwise. It's very intentional that when this news was leaked, very timely today, and yeah. So I think that part is definitely interesting, but it's gonna make for a good game tomorrow. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not even sure if I can watch that one. That one's gonna
Oh,
be
I'm
connected too.
watching every second of it. The other game, there's no reason to watch the other game. This is the only game to watch.
We're gonna touch on it too, but I have a lot of interest in Chelsea Spurs, to be honest with you.
wait, those
Why?
games they're at the same time?
No. It's, Spurs Chelsea is at 3:15,
When's the City game?
2:30.
2:30. They're gonna
You can
overlap,
Oh, so
but
they
yeah.
yeah,
overlap. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Mm. Hmm.
Speaking of
But
that, Chelsea Spurs, CJ, please enlighten me. Why are you invested in this game?
well, one, it gives me something else to focus on so that I don't have to pull a Laurent and check Google every 2 minutes for the Bournemouth City game
Pull the
without,
screen down
yeah,
and
yeah,
refresh.
without actually tuning in. You know what I mean? Just trying to cheat in my way through it and refreshing every minute to see what's going on, you know? Um, I need to be distracted, bro, because that for that 2 hour period tomorrow, I don't know. I think for the Bournemouth City game, like around the 85th minute, I'll check. I'll turn all my notifications off, so don't even think about messaging me because I'm not answering for 2 hours on my phone. In the 85th minute, I'll turn my phone back on, check the notifications, and like we'll do one of these and kind of peek and see what's the score. And yeah, man, then we'll go from there. But yeah, I can't watch that one from beginning to end. So the fact that the Chelsea Spurs game is on is going to be nice. It'll be distract me, so I'll be tuning into that. Also because and whilst I think the relegation battle is over too, in my opinion, I think it's now over. I think Spurs are okay, and I think West Ham is going down, sadly. But yeah, no, don't people don't sleep on the Chelsea Spurs rivalry. That's a big rivalry as well in London. Those two clubs don't like each other. And if you guys remember, jog your minds back to I think it was 2016 when Leicester was they won the league and Spurs I think were in the title race with them throughout the most of that campaign. Late in that season, Chelsea ended Spurs' title hopes. I think it was ended up a 2-2 draw. I think Hazard scored an equalizer, top bins. I remember that game very well, and that game was fiery. There was beef, there was fights on the pitch. Um, and so yeah, those two clubs, they have a history. They don't like each other either. It's another London derby, and if Chelsea can have any, small marginal win this season, it's beat Spurs to, potentially still send them into relegation. Whilst I say the relegation battle is over, and I think West Ham losing back to back in the last couple of weeks has made them, I think, a favorite to get relegated. It's not mathematically over. So if Chelsea beats Spurs tomorrow, then that battle goes to the final day as well. And I think Chelsea would love nothing more too, to beat Spurs and potentially send them down. So I think, yeah, that's the only thing that Chelsea have left to really smile about come the end of the season is to say that they may send the Spurs down. Um,
Oh, they got their trophy when they beat Barcelona, remember? Relax.
yeah. So hey, Chelsea, man, do us all a favor, and we'll stand in unity tomorrow because I want you guys to beat Spurs and send them into panics for the final day.
Up the Chels.
Here, here, I agree. I agree.
Laurent?
Yeah, honestly, man, well, for one, I think in terms of just being able to win a game, I think it's important to do that, right? Even if it wasn't Spurs, if it was any other team at this stage, right? I think what, 2 games left? At least send the fans home with something to remember, some positive, some joy, right, for this season, other than the new managerial appointment. But yeah, no, listen, I think the lineup should be quite similar to what we saw in the past 2 games. And it should be a feisty game given it is
Hmm.
the two clubs. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
Well, another title race is winding down. CJ is running away with it for a repeat, so he may actually be the greatest manager. He's currently on 97 points in the prediction leaderboard. LeBron is on 95, and I am on 87. Um, I got 3 games that we're predicting, 2 of which are tomorrow, one of which will be the Europa final. First game, Bournemouth City, and this is me saying it with my heart and my head. I'm going with a draw. I don't think City win, and I think Arsenal win the Premier League tomorrow.
Oh, don't tell me that, bro.
Mr. Piano,
Ah,
I'm gonna go City.
CJ,
yeah, I'm thinking with my head. City's winning tomorrow. Let's go
okay.
into the final day.
Chelsea Spurs. I got Chelsea up the Chels. Relegate them, the motherfuckers.
I like the way you think. I like the way you think because I'm going for the same answer as Merdad here. Yeah.
CJ
Yeah, put me down for Chelsea. Think they're
and
going out on a bang. Who's Chelsea's last game of the season against?
Sunderland away.
Yeah, so
Up,
last home game in front of the
yeah.
fans. Yeah, I think they'll win that one.
And last but not least, Freiburg Villa Europa final. I got Villa. I think Unai Emery does it, and I think Aston Villa cement themselves back as being a top club. They replace Spurs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Villa as well.
Yeah, same.
Well, I have a chance to make up 1 point ground with you guys. Um,
Wait, how
I
many
think
more
our,
games?
our our title race is maybe going to the final day too, Laurent.
Well,
yeah.
listen, I'm trying to. How many more games do we? Still 6 games, right? One, two, three, six, seven. Probably six, seven. Hey,
Well, I'm assuming for the final game of the season, depending how it goes, obviously we're going to do the City game. Obviously, we're going to do the Arsenal game. We can likely do one of the relegation games, right?
Well, there's Champions League final as well.
Yeah, Champions League final and Conference League final.
okay,
So
okay, okay. All right.
I'm pretty much out.
Um,
I mean, but I do think um I should get extra points for having my preseason predictions correct.
whoa,
Just
whoa,
saying. Just
go,
saying. Just
buddy,
saying.
buddy, goalpost,
Just
like,
saying.
yeah, bro, like, yeah.
I mean, CJ, I still wouldn't be paying for your jersey because Laurent's gonna lose a bet with me, so he can just give you the money for the jersey.
You talking about Champions League final?
Mm, that's crazy. Wait, hold on. You actually see when you guys had your performance, was it okay? Even the City performance, that one, and then there was a game right after that. But when I watch games like today, you see what I'm saying? Like, bro, you guys were putting yourself into good positions, but your players are just not clinical. That's the fear I have if I'm Arsenal. You see, and bro, if a PSG they find themselves, you see, like that ball is going into the back of the net. Um, yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, I think PSG is coming to retain that title. So I hope you're ready for that, man.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Well, just know it's not every team that beats a PSG in a final, eh? FYI.
Well, listen, we got a couple more pods left before that game. There's a very high likelihood that CJ and I will be watching the game in the UK together.
Hey,
Um, we'll probably, if we figure it out, we'll probably record in UK. Um,
Tried to get Laurent a ticket, but he's not. I think he's calling in
yeah,
sick for that time period.
you were not. Yeah, tell HR or whoever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm calling in sick.
yeah, he doesn't want to go on that business trip, you know?
Mm.
Um, most importantly, we always say it, hit that like, hit that subscribe, give us a follow. It's gonna be a wild finish, and we're gonna be here to cover it, whether we win, whether we don't. I've been on the mindset since the beginning of the season and back in August that we are gonna win the Premier League. And when Laurent asked me, I believe it was sometime in November, are we gonna win Champions League? I did make $100 bet with him that we are gonna win the Champions League. Call me deluded, call me whatever you want to call me. I've stuck to my guns, and I think we do the double. Starts tomorrow. Well, if you're listening to this, it would be today when Man City drop points to Bournemouth. And hey, you'll see CJ with a video uploading, and he's going to say, well, I just took my Xanax and I am calm now, but now I'm just drinking some champagne. So that's going to be what CJ is going to say. And we're going to be out on the streets partying, man.
Yo, you guys taking in this time tomorrow without us kicking a ball, Arsenal could be Premier League champions.
Yes.
I'm not. I haven't even really processed that yet. Look how straight Laurent's face is, bro. It's okay. Like, breathe. It's okay.
He's like
But
having a
yo,
panic attack.
I might, bro. If that happens, I might fucking like call you guys and just start live streaming, bro. I don't know. What do we do? Like, bro, you're not taking in tomorrow. Arsenal could be Premier League champions. I don't know,
I'll
bro. I
be
might.
ready to record right away.
Hold on, make sure you pick up your phone. I might call you legit. Just start streaming. Get the champagne out.
Ah, yo,
Get the
crazy.
Ray and nephew out, bro. What do you mean champagne?
Listen, you guys do you, man. Don't let a hater spoil that joy that
No, no, no. I want
is a
all
part
the
of your
hater
heart.
tears. I want all the hater tears.
Hmm. Yeah, but you're right. You're right. If City fuck up, it could come down to that. Um, damn. So yeah, CJ, I expect you to watch the City game.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I assume you guys are. I mean, I know Murdad's watching it. You're gonna watch it. Oh no, you're gonna watch the Chelsea game. I'm curious to know
Uh,
what you have more interest in, actually.
Honestly, yeah, if I'm being real, I'd say the City game.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm gonna have both playing.
The
Well,
question is,
oh,
which kit are you gonna be wearing? That's the question.
Ah,
City kit. What the hell?
that is cute. That is cuties. That's cute. But like I said, I tell on what is it, May 28th? Whatever that day is, you already know. You already know where I'm from. The streets of Paris, my guy.
May
We
30th.
May 30th? Ah, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's I'm a full-on PSG supporter.
And on that bombshell, adios.